one thing we haven't talked about is this concept of a smart contract. And you mentioned Bitcoin early on, and that was actually, we'll talk about centralization too, that was centralized from the beginning, but it never actually got to that point where you could do more than trade a Bitcoin and actually have logic in there. Obviously, the Ethereum network provided that, which then allowed you guys to create these systems and all of this other great stuff that's happened. I think you said something one time. You said the most valuable asset is time, and the best systems are designed to make trust obsolete. And also you said earlier, we want to get rid of the bankers and replace them with software, which might sound like a bad thing to do, but I knew those bankers, they should be replaced by software, but it'll pass the savings on to you. How do you end up trying to explain to people what's happening there and why it is the future?
Yeah, it's a great question. So, there's certain, products and markets that are best run by robots, right? Metaphorically speaking. Where humans only introduce problems. They introduce, malice or error or like blunder or, there's all these things that can go wrong when humans are in the middle of it. And there's certain financial markets that are best run by just an open source piece of computer code. Ideally markets that are very simple and ones that benefit from transparency. And so, this is done with a smart contract. A smart contract just is a fancy word for a computer program deployed onto a blockchain. And, the nice thing about, whether it's Bitcoin or Ethereum or whatever, once a block has been mined, everyone can be confident that it's final, that it's not going to change. And so a smart contract is just a very simple computer program deployed into the history of the Ethereum blockchain. There's other blockchains now that can also support smart contracts. But once it's been deployed, you see this computer code and it says, if this asset does this, then do Y. And if a user supplies an asset, then do this. And it just manages, a financial activity. And it does so in a way that everyone can see, like anyone out there can like read how it works. It might take some like sophistication, but it's doable, right? And the whole thing runs on its own. You can think of it like a self-driving financial market. And just like eventually when self-driving cars are really good, there's going to be less accidents than when people are driving, right? It's also going to be better because like you can like fall asleep and the car will drive you. The same thing is going to happen with financial markets, where self-driving financial markets are going to be better than ones where you have to pick up the phone and call people to get something done. These DeFi markets are faster, cheaper, more transparent. They run 24/7. It's superior in almost every way, right? The biggest downside is that this is so new. There's like unknown unknowns. And that can include technical risks. That can include connected, risks of like financial markets. It's newer and that's therefore a little bit dangerous, but long-term, this is the direction I think almost every financial market's going to go. It's going to be run by computer code, not by people. And that's how I like to summarize it. A smart contract is just a fancy name for a computer program being used for a market like this.